Hello, everybody, welcome. Rosie Psych Investigator, hello, everybody, welcome. Rosie Psych Investigator. Welcome to Rosie Insights channel. Never do this. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Press like. It will help me a lot. So funny. It's like, it does not sound like me at all, but it's okay. So, so I hope you're having a good day in this never land. So today is Thursday, December 4th in the evening. And of course, there's a lot happening. Hmm. There's a few things that I want to talk about. One is this is kind of good news. I don't know if it's a good news, but it's fair news, if anything. It's the fact that a trashless administration has not succeeded in, has tried to, but not succeeded in indicting A.G. James. The grand jury refused to indict her. So I want to look into the situation also to see what's next for her because she's a queen, and I like to brag about this. She gave me two hugs once at a lecture one time, so I like her. I like her. So really, because it will be interesting to see what role she will play in American history in the future. I could totally. She would be an incredible attorney general. I think she would not have unlike some people, she would not have a problem with indicting. You know what I'm saying? It's like. And guys, I regret, I gave Merrick Garland the benefit of the doubt, and this is like, the world is every person has a role to play in the big story of the world, right? Imagine being a person who could have done something and didn't. So though, oh no, it's not fair. It's not that the Justice Department has a rule where we don't really want to indict the president. And this should be history. Uh, this will be in the history books of cowardice. The history books of cowardice. First page, Mary Garland. The history books of cowardice. First page, Mary Garland. History books of cowardice. First page, Mary Garland. For history books of cowardice. First page, Merrick Garland, History Books of Cowardice. First page, Merrick Garland, History Books of Cowardice. First page, Merrick Garland. Okay. Where are we again? That's the protection. I like to ask for protection, a beautiful ray of light coming on top of my head as I breathe in. I feel my lungs as I breathe out. I create a circle. I create a circle. I step into it. I step into it. I feel protected. I feel connected. I'd like to ask that information come only from the highest sources, that I create the good and only the good, and so it is. All right. Let's get started. Let's get started. Grand jury said to decline to re-indict Letitia James. After a judge dismissed the Trump administration's first attempt to indict the Attorney General of New York, a grand jury effort failed, according to people familiar with the matter. She's very beautiful. She's very beautiful. I thought she was around my age, but she's in her 60s. Okay, so a grand jury in Norfolk, Virginia, declined on Thursday to re-indict Letitia James, New York's Attorney General, rejecting efforts to revive a criminal case that had been sought by President Trump, according to people familiar with the matter. The decision dealt another embarrassing setback to the president's effort to exert greater control over the Justice Department, highlighting how judges and jurors have acted as a check on Mr. Trump's desire to use the criminal justice system to punish his political foes. Okay, so this is it. It's it's nice. Okay. It's not she doesn't deserve any of this because she is the one person who's going after trash. But I want to know, okay. I want to know what you're thinking. Tell me. Guys, I am just so absolutely heartbroken because I posted, I was so excited about the video. And let me show you the culprit of this. This is my microphone. You see, there's this, it's like a touch thing. If you just bump into it and I have to tape something on top of it because you just like randomly touch it and it will turn off. You will be muted. Can you imagine? So I was like listening with you guys. And then I was like, oh my God, there's no volume. It was so upsetting. And then I looked, right? And I looked and it was red. Just to show you, okay, I'm gonna mute it. Just okay, back on. You can see how it's very upsetting. So I'm gonna re-record this because it was so powerful. And it was like maybe like an hour ago or half an hour ago or something like that. So I'm gonna tell you, I have to tell you now. Hopefully I will not, I will not forget what I just did because this stupid it's making me so angry. Oh my God. Okay. Oh well. Okay. Let me just tell you. So I think it stopped just as I was going to discuss the visions, right, about her. So okay. So please, Spirit, guide me because okay. So I had asked what is going to happen to A.J. James. Okay. And what is her future? And what is her future? What is it? What's going to happen to her in the next year? And then I had the vision of where I saw her. Okay, so I saw the first thing I saw was she was at this dining room at a like a parlor room, I think it's called. And then I remembered, I thought, I know she has this house in Virginia because that's where they try to indict her, right? She has this house that she rents to a family member there. And I thought, oh, is that in Virginia? But then I remember that I actually know the area where she lives because a close friend of mine, who has now moved away from New York, she and her husband rented an apartment in Clinton Hill in Brooklyn. And they said that she was their neighbor. She lived a few doors down. So I know that area has these historic brownstones or townhouses or whatever. And and then my friend said that she lived near there. I thought, oh, that type of house could have a parlor dining room because it had that look. I don't know what area is it. It just has that. It's not like a usual like suburban kind of house, but it has that. It's like it's sometimes three-story houses, three-story townhomes have that kind of like where it's sort of like oval in the dining area, and it overlooks like there's a large room, but the sort of overall areas where the dining table is meant to be located in, I think. Anyway, I saw her sitting there in this specific table that was also like there would be a table that could be an antique because it fit very well with that room. And she was sitting there, and then I saw that she was actually a little bit, she started to get sick. She threw up. And it shows me that because of all these things that are happening, she is she's had to like she's had to take care of herself and to rest more because she's a workaholic. And because and now I'm a little bit overweight myself, like, and I sometimes struggle with sitting for a long time because of circulation issues. And it's not just because of your size, but some people are affected by circulation differently. And it reminds me, actually, I worked at City Group, then City Smith Barney, long story, then became Morgan Stanley. But I remember that there was I had most it's like it was a corporate building, and there was this woman who was sitting on my floor, and she said, "Oh, that she had to order this footrest." And at the time, I was in my 20s. I was like, "Oh, footrest. Oh, okay." And now I get it. Now I get it. Now I understanding. Okay. Anyway, going back to the story. So she was sick, but she was told also by her doctor that she needs to rest because she works constantly all the time. And also, this is a way of her body to show stress, right? It's like she has gone through so much, so she needs to take the time to rest. And I see her having a footstool or something. And now she's no longer sitting on the dining table because that would be awkward, right? But she's sitting somewhere with like, a little sofa or something. She may be reading something and she's sitting there with her feet up on the little footstool. And then she sees the moon. Now, I took a picture actually today. I went to a store and then I went to Trader Joe's. And as I was walking back, it was around six something. And then I saw the moon. Today is the full moon. And I saw this full moon almost like I looked at the moon and I was like, wow. And I got this message of like a sliding door where everything is opening up. And it is a decisive moon and it's a big deal today. And it's going to impact us in a way that we would not have imagined, we can possibly imagine. And then, so this is the power of the moon, okay, that I saw today. But then in the vision of her, I saw that she was sitting, with her feet up on the little sofa, and she looks out at the window and she sees the moon speaking to her. And in this vision of the moon, there was a spirit, like her spirit guide, kind of speaking to her and kind of telling her that the time is coming of the change, of the big change that she's been called here for. And because she's a person of faith, she's quite religious and she's also spiritual. And this I learned when I went to her lecture. She talked about the work that she does as a form of ministry. And that and she knows that everything that she goes through has a meaning, like I think spirituality, religion, the Bible and everything like help her deal with the challenges that she deals with. But she sees it as part of what God chose her for. Does that make sense? So 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 this is so anyway, so that's that. So then I see her looking at the moon and the spirit comes to her, kind of telling her, like her spirit guide, that the time we were very close to this time of the big change. And she, like all of us, kind of, I think, are aware that there's this change. There's almost like the day of judgment kind of comes, and everything changes for the better. And we're living it now, right? And then the next thing I see that she sort of like falls asleep a little bit, like in her, because she doesn't sleep. I see that she does not sleep that much either. She just like she has like she falls asleep like reading, and then she wakes up at like 4 a.m. Really. So she falls asleep in the sofa, like kind of like that. And then, and the next thing you know, the phone rings, and then I see her in like her bedroom. And again, she has a robe on. I feel like she wasn't even like going to bed, but she just falls asleep. And then the phone rings, and this is a phone that only very few people have, and it's considered a very special phone, like for emergencies or something like that. So then the phone rings, and she answers, and it's Kamala Harris calling her and telling her, asking her to be part of the new government. And I see, and because guys, it's very unfortunate that the mute button decided to act up, and I have to always check here, just as I kind of like do protection. I have to make sure, and it's very, very upsetting. I have to, maybe keep it very far away so that nothing will touch it. I didn't notice how could I have possibly touched it, but I did. Anyway, the point is that I was talking a lot about Merrick Garland, right? And how what a coward he was, and how he did nothing when he could have done so much, and the impact of somebody. Every person has an impact. He had a very negative impact. And then I see that because then I thought to myself, she could be the EG, yes, for Kamala's government, but also she could have, like, she could be part of the transition. It doesn't tell me necessarily at that point, at this part, but then in the vision it confirms. But at this point, it didn't tell me necessarily what exactly her job was. But then I look forward, and I see her giving a speech in front of the Justice Department, saying something like, "I'm glad that God put me here to finish what I started." and that this man evaded justice for so long, for so many years, and him and so many like him have continued to evade justice. But today is the day when justice is done, and he finally pays the price for his crimes and that of his treasonous administration. Okay, so she finishes the job. Because I'm sorry to say, when it comes to Donald Trump, it almost doesn't, honestly, I don't mean to like pick on Democrats, but nobody, right? Like, this is like, I really, sometimes I think if I saw Merrick Garland, I would hit him. I would like slap his face because what is the point of you living? Like, what is the point? You were irresponsible for this. Right? So it's like all these men, like, oh no, but I don't want him to be upset. I don't want to give the impression that I'm, that I don't want to, I'm not going after anybody especially, no. I want, it's fair for everybody. Yes. No, it's not. And this is how we regard to today. So she is the right person to finish the job and to not, like, she's not afraid of like walking on eggshells. She's not, she's not afraid to, because her whole point is that she's not working to be a member of the boys club because we all know, if you're like, that nobody wants us to be part of the club, but she is there, and she's there for the right reason, not for power, but for justice, right? So this is that. I'm glad that I'm able to, say exactly what I saw before, and that it's still here, and it's saying yes, it continues, Rose, it continues. And I see Dr. King is saying yes. And he said, blessed to be. I got goosebumps, something. Blessed to be. Yes. Yes. And so a lot of people over on the other side got goosebumps. Yes. It's just the beginning for her in a way. And of course, trash cannot stop her. And he was not able to stop her brilliance, right? Because she committed zero crimes. It was just vengeance. Okay. Oh, and I saw this may have been also silenced by my mute button. That like I saw that I asked also, what would Trump do against her, keep doing. I saw that she has been getting threats, weird phone calls, and she notices people around, kind of, so she has security. But she takes it as being part of her job. Like, of course, she is going after powerful people, but she's not afraid. Again, she knows because of her spiritual background, because of her faith, she's not phased. And she knows that she has like almost like a historical role to play. And I really do think that God picked her to do justice, to make all of this happen, right? So, so that's a story. That is a story. Okay, so that is a story, and I'm glad I did it right away when I noticed. I'm sorry again today. Did you see? I deleted a video. So the if you saw the screen, this video is no longer available. It's not YouTube going after me for some reason. It's me. This when you make a video private, and I have to make it private before I can delete it, right? Because I had to delete it in order to like redo the re-record. Okay. So thank you so much for your patience, and I'm gonna repost it now. All right. Okay. Love you guys. Okay. Bye.